Mats Buchardt himself says, these are one of the best woofers you can get in the whole world. We're talking about the triple coil version of the PURIFI woofers, and the speaker next to me is the Buchardt Audio A10 Anniversary Active. It is handcrafted in Denmark. Yes, in Denmark, and made out of solid wood. The woofers alone retail for approximately 400 units each. Built in Denmark, made out of solid wood. It's an active speaker, and it retails for 3,900 euros, 4,000 and a little bit more US dollars. At this price point, made in Denmark, it seriously is hard to believe. So it is much cheaper than I thought, and it sounds much better than I thought. The electronics inside are made in China, so you're going to find two labels on the back side of this speaker. One says made in Denmark, and on the electronics part it's going to say made in China. So what is this speaker? This is a two-way stand mount speaker in a sealed box. Yes, exactly, in a sealed box. The sealed box design of this speaker makes it a little bit easier for placement. These speakers are a little bit less sensitive when placed closer to the wall than speakers with an open port design. The amplification inside consists of a Texas Instruments DAC power unit. It has a 3x 50 watt, meaning 150 watts for the mid woofer and another 50 watt for the tweeter. The frequency response is an astonishing 28 Hz to 40,000 Hz. 28 Hz in a speaker of that size. That is quite a statement, and I can attest to that. The bass is phenomenal coming out of these little boxes. The bass is punchy, it is tight, and yes, it extends deep down. Here in my room, the bass reproduction was never blown up. It was never too much. It was just punchy, tight bass. And I believe it was exactly this kind of bass reproduction that made me listen to an artist that I haven't listened to in a very long time. I'm talking about the German DJ and producer Oliver Kolecki, Großstadtmärchen, Big City Fairy Tales, if you want to translate it. It is minimal tech house, deep house music, and with the Buchardt it is extremely enjoyable listening to. It was quite hard to sit in one place. I kind of had to get up and move my body a little bit. The tweeter of the Buchardt Audio A10 comes from Danish fellow company SB Acoustics, a very famous company in driver production. The tweeter built into this chassis is the RF-A10, and it is fitted into a rather huge CDC profiled aluminium waveguide. This waveguide design we have seen before in Buchardt audio products. The presentation of music with this speaker is what I would call somewhat neutral and also flat. Nothing is really spotlighted, nothing is pushed forward, nothing stands out, but everything is very coherent, everything is nicely playing together with each other, meaning all the musicians playing different instruments that of course play at very, very different frequencies. It is all in the mix and one, nicely layered out, nicely positioned. So this speaker does not shout "party" at you, nor does it make you feel like lush and warm and soft. It simply is very modern, clean, precise and spacious in its presentation. The mid-range, coming from the same woofer, presents itself very clear, very clean, very coherent. There's nothing forward, there's nothing really aggressive in the mid-range. There's also nothing really aggressive in the highs of this speaker. The treble in these speakers are presented with a certain spark and a certain precision that, yet again, it made me listen to a lot of electronic music that I have not listened to in a very, very long time, and it made me enjoy it very, very much. The treble is not ear-piercing and it's not fatiguing, yet it has a quite sparky nuance to it. And that is a mixture that I find intriguing. Okay guys, so this is a post-edit video shot, because while editing this video my wife realized she just has to share an impression with you guys that she had with the Buchardt A10 anniversary, with a song by Irish singer Damien Rice together with Lisa Hannington from the album 9, the song 9 Crimes. So she wants me to tell you she particularly enjoyed Damien Rice's voice, the way he was playing in this space between singing and whispering. The gentle trembling in his voice was beautifully portrayed with the Buchardt A10 anniversary. When Lisa joins the song, the interplay between these two singers, the two voices, was presented in a very intimate, raw, yet detailed and clean way. Very enjoyable with the Buchardt A10 anniversary. In this video I talk a lot about electronic music, and yes, I listen to quite a bit of electronic music with the Buchardt A10 anniversary, but not only. My taste in music is quite diverse. I listen to many different genres, and also with the Buchardt A10 anniversary in the past weeks I listened to a lot of different genres, not only electronic music. This is an active speaker. Now, what is so intriguing about an active speaker? I talk a lot on this channel about the synergy and the harmony amongst components in a hi-fi set. You need harmony in a hi-fi system. And in an active speaker, the manufacturer, the producer actually solved one of these riddles for you, because the amplifier and the cabling inside have been matched by the manufacturer to the way the manufacturer thinks this speaker sounds the best. I will admit, you know, I am a hi-fi nerd and I do actually enjoy the whole playing around. I would very much like to listen to exactly this speaker in this cabinet with a good and powerful Class AB amplifier, just out of curiosity. Well, there is a whole DSP digital board inside of these cabinets, so that gives a lot of opportunities for tuning. And I wanted to compare this speaker to other speakers, but I decided to just compare it to itself. Buchardt Audio offers a whole plethora of different master tunings that you can very simply install into the speaker. For this, you simply need a thumb drive. You go to the homepage of Buchardt Audio, you download one of the master tunings. Installing the master tuning is quite simple. You need to switch off the speaker beforehand. You plug in the thumb drive on which you have installed the master tuning. Be careful, only have one master tuning on this thumb drive, not many, not any other files. Plug it in, turn on the speaker, the lights flash up, and it's done. You have a master tuning. And I've tried that. I did most of my listening with the flat tuning. This is the way the speakers came. But I've also tried the detailed master tuning. I tried the near wall master tuning, and I tried the warm master tuning. And all of these names of the master tunings, they do exactly as the name would suggest. The master tuning extra detail. Yes, there was a little bit more detail. It was also a little bit more direct. It was a little bit more upfront, and the contours of the musicians in some of the stagings was even a little bit sharper than it was before, because even in the flat tuning, I would say the whole staging and the layering of the staging, the drawing of the contours of the musicians was beautifully done with these speakers. The warm master tuning, on the other hand, does exactly the opposite. The bass and the lower mids got a little bit more rounder, and there was a little bit more volume and body in many of the instruments that I heard. So it just got the music, the sound presentation, a little bit warmer. But whichever master tuning I installed on the Buchardt A10 anniversary, the tonal character and the philosophy of the speakers stayed intact. I think it is a very nice catch that you're able to work on the details, and you can fine-tune the details to be according to your liking. I have not tested the internal room correction software, because for this you also need the Buchardt Wiser unit, and I don't have this here. And to give you a complete picture of the hi-fi setup that I was using this with, I was using it with two different streamers, a Linn Selekt with the Katalyst Act. The Linn does have room correction in it, so I could play around with that room correction with the Buchardt Audio A10 anniversary. And the second streamer that I used it with was the Gold Note DS10 Evo. And it was very beautiful to listen to the distinctive difference in sound characteristics that these two streamers bring to the speakers. The Buchardt Audio A10 anniversary, they made no shadowing or overlaying. They presented the music the way they got the waveforms from the front electronics. It was very clearly audible what is the character of the Gold Note and what is the character of the Linn Selekt. And one of the most impressive parts of this speaker stays for me this full frequency response that it has. This bookshelf goes deep. The bass extends really deep, and the bass stays punchy and tight and beautiful to listen to. So I believe Mats Buchardt is right when he says this PURIFI driver is one of the best in the world for bass reproduction. Maybe this is also why I kind of got back to my roots of listening to a lot of different electronic music or electronic production influenced music with the Buchardt A10 audio in the past weeks. So what is my verdict? I think for the asking price of roughly 4,000 euros, or roughly 4,000 and a little bit US dollars, this product is nothing short of astonishing. You get an amazing set of drivers built into a cabinet made out of solid wood, handcrafted in Europe, and inside you find amplification with DSP capabilities to fine-tune the sound according to your likes. For that price, yeah, I think it's definitely worth a shot. And don't forget to do the most important thing in this hobby. Just enjoy music.